This morning suspended all contact sports in schools with immediate effect. In a statement, the Basic Education Department says contact sport events still contribute to the spread of COVID-19 despite following the protocols as guided by the directions on extramural activities and standard operating procedures on the prevention, containment and management of COVID-19 in schools. This after reports of a gradual increase of sports activity related to COVID-19 outbreaks in Gauteng schools during this term. To get more on this, we have Elijah Mhlanga, who is the head of communication at the Basic Education Department via Zoom. A very good morning to you, Mr. Mhlanga. What drove the department to suspend all contact sports in schools?
Good morning, Desiree. Well, as you have articulated, that there has been several reports of outbreaks in schools, particularly in Gauteng, all related to sporting activities. And in those cases, there were confirmed COVID-19 cases that we felt were unnecessary and should not be allowed to continue, and that a decision needed to be made to try contribute positively in the fight with COVID-19. So the Council of Education Ministers felt for that the immediate suspension of contact sporting activities in school needed to be paused.
What's the number of infections that we're talking about?
Well, we are talking about more than 10 schools and involving like several learners. I mean, if it's happening in all parts of the province and groups of learners, those that are participating in the sporting activities being infected, the number could be more than what has been reported, because those learners at the end of the day, they go back to their families and the spread then continues from there. So we need to try contribute in the fight against COVID-19 and try contain the spread in every way that we can, especially after seeing that the health and safety protocols that we said should be followed in schools have not assisted.
I haven't seen it yet, but I hear you've sent out a subsequent statement making a clarification on one of the points in the initial statement. Can you clarify that for us?
Well, we had said is when in fact we meant other sports that are not of a contact nature, those can proceed. We're talking here about tennis, where you don't necessarily need to meet someone or touch someone else, and swimming, for example. But all the contact sports have become a huge risk, particularly in the sector.
Do you have an indication of when the suspension might be lifted?
Not yet. We'll be monitoring the situation. The department, together with its partners, are monitoring the situation, and we're also taking into account the general increase in the COVID-19 cases around the country, but also the talk about the third wave. So all of those things became a factor when the decision was made to say, where are we now and where are we going? What is it that we need to do now? So the decision was therefore to say suspend, monitor the situation, and at the right time you make another decision that will either sustain the suspension or lift the ban on sporting activities for now.
Thanks for your time this morning.
I missed that.
We're just thanking you for your time this morning, Mr. Mhlanga. Thank you so much. That's an update there with the Department of Basic Education suspending all contact sports with immediate effect. Let's take a break.